Hey guys, so for our project we chose to do Hinduism, and so to start off we went to the Sunnyvale Temple and Community Center in Sunnyvale. This was a fairly small temple with about 10 parking spots, and it was as big as maybe 2 or 3 classrooms combined. So when we first arrived we noticed that we had to take our shoes off, so we went in with socks and everything was really clean and orderly. And then we noticed that there was a bell right on top, and that when people came in, they rang the bell, and then they went to the murtis, which are the sacred images or the statues in this case that represent the gods. And we noticed that people would first ring the bell when they entered, and then they would really concentrate their thoughts as if they were meeting God. And we talked to this one lady afterwards, and she said she went to the temple to thank the Lords about some good news that she had received. And the first element that we saw was the Bhagavad Gita, which is an important text for Hindus. It means the Song of the Lord. It contains a bunch of epics, such as the one we read in class called the Mahabharata. And this book was surrounded by some certain gods, and it basically it gives you these spiritual lessons about how you can, connect with it morally, with the religion, and without having to withdraw from the society that we live in today. And the book was on an elevated place and decorated real nicely, and it was right in front, so it definitely had a significance in the whole building. Next we can see here are the offerings. So when people came, they put some money in, and then they had these other trays which they decorated, these golden trays in the back, which they decorated with flowers, candles, like scents, some sweets, and then they would wave these trays around the gods, and as a symbol of worship.
Hi, my name is Maharshi Mandal. I will be talking to you about Navagrha and as well as Nandi. So as you can see here, the 9 planets collectively in this diagram are collectively known as Navagrha. This is basic Hindu astrology. People come to this specific part of the temple in order for praying for good luck and to overcome karma. This Navagrha is usually found in Hindu temples, either grouped on a pedestal or panel. So the 9 planets also includes Pluto, even though that it doesn't count anymore. But it also includes the sun and the moon. The sun is called Surya, which is also called Ravi. This god rode a chariot led by 7 horses. The 7 horses represent 7 colors of white light and the 7 days of the week. Chandra is the next god, which is the moon. He is also called Soma, and he also rode in a chariot, but this time it's with 10 horses. Mangala is Mars. Mangala is an assertive god with 4 hands and uses Ram, which is another god, as his vehicle. Buddha, which is Mercury, is depicted with 4 hands riding a chariot or a lion. Brihaspati is Jupiter. He is a teacher of the gods. He is shown with 2 hands, and he drives a chariot driven by 8 horses, and the 8 horses represent the 8 branches of knowledge. Sukra, which is Venus, is the teacher of the demons, author of Sukrantiti, also a chariot driven by 8 horses. 3 of the horses hold a staff, rosary, vessel of gold, while the 4th one is held in Varada Mudra. Rahu is an image that resembles that of Mercury, but both gods are different in nature and temperament. It's shown riding a dark lion in contrast to a white lion of Buddha. Keto means comet. It's a scripture that describes him having the tail of a serpent as his body. riding upon a vulture and holding a mace. All 7 are gods, the other 2, Rahu and Ketu, are demons. Everyone gets assigned to a planet when they're first born. Jupiter is said to be the best for good luck, and if you get Saturn, then that's too bad for you. It's the best for bad luck. This is Nandi. It is a bull, but it's supposed to be representing a Vahan, or the vehicle for Lord Shiva. The root Nandu means to grow and flourish, but the word Nandi itself means to be happy or satisfied. The color represents purity and justice. Like I said before, it's a devotion to the Lord Shiva. Nandi is also the son of Shilada. The worship of Shiva and Nandi go all the way back to the Indus Valley civilization, which, for those of you guys who don't know, that this is back when Hinduism started. Nandi got the divine knowledge taught by Lord Shiva. You could say that Nandi and Lord Shiva are like son and father, and that's how this is connecting to my personal life, because I get a lot of my knowledge from my father because of the advice and stuff and the pep talks he gives me. And this is similar to Nandi and Shiva. This is very popular in India and especially also in Southeast Asia. Countries like Cambodia, which you probably wouldn't assume that they have these Indian sculptures, but since Nandi is so popular, it has grown throughout Asia and now even here in America.
Hi, I'm Naresh Pillay, and today I'm going to speak about my personal experience at the Sunnyvale Hindu Temple. Initially, when we visited the temple, we were greeted by taking off our shoes and walking into a very quiet but very colorful room. Being someone who's been to Christian churches and other places of worship, you never really see the type of colors that I saw when going into this temple. There were flowers hanging from the ceiling, statues covered in gold and different types of jewels, and the amount of different statues was just honestly something I'd never seen before. The first statue that we're going to talk about is that of Ganesha. Ganesha is known as the elephant god to many who don't really know what Ganesha represents. Ganesha is actually the god of new beginnings and the remover of obstacles, which makes many people who worship Hindu culture go to him during hard times or in need of support. It's very relatable to see why so many people go to Ganesha, because during a hard time, you want someone to be by your side, and it's very nice to worship Ganesha to remove these barriers, or obstacles, in other words. Ganesha in all of his glory was embellished in colorful flowers and jewelry in the temple, and I've honestly never seen anything like it going to a Christian church in which you may see like a plain statue of Jesus or Mary. And it's honestly a very, very colorful experience. It makes you feel alive and at peace almost at the same time. The next statue that we took a look at was that of Hanuman. Hanuman is a prominent figure in religious Hindu myths and actually represents strength and courage for those in tough times as well. Hanuman can be seen throughout popular Hindu culture and is very prominent among religious tales and morals. All in all, the Hindu temple was something that I've really never seen before in a place of worship, in that it was so vibrant and full of color and with different gods and gold and jewelry. It's an experience in itself for the eyes to just look around and see all of these things in a place of worship, where like as in another place of worship it may be very tranquil and peaceful, but it's the experience for the eyes is something that you won't really get anywhere else.